Hey. Oh, my hair. Oh, hey, Ryan. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Lim. Thanks for becoming a member. Oh, man. Well, before I get into it, I'll just chat a little bit about my day. My kid has me on this, like, every year when he gives me a list of Christmas presents, he always gives me, like, toys that have been discontinued that are impossible to find or like being sold for $1 million because they're like a collectible. He kills me. He's 7 and he's like a super collector and scours the YouTube. So he collects dinosaurs, like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs. And last year he wanted this Spinosaurus that was discontinued, this like particular blue Spinosaurus, and sent me, hey Jameson, he sent me on this like wild goose chase looking for this particular dinosaur. And I couldn't even, I had to buy it from like a private seller, not in a box or anything. And I paid, and I got lucky on eBay. I got it for like $100. Hey, is that Britt or Tina? Either one. Hey, girl. Hey, Kayla. Hey, Lynn. Yeah, I spent like $150 on this damn action figure toy. I'm like, what the hell? He's crazy. So this year he's got me looking for the classic Lego roller coaster, and he's like, Mom, I want it like in a brand new box. I don't. I'm like, listen, but you don't have to make a deal here because we can get it brand new in the box from a private seller. Hey Tina, how you doing? Oh man, here's AT. I shouldn't have put earrings in because my earrings are, hold on a second. I'm allergic to nickel, so thank you, Jameson. How's your lizard, Tina? I seen you guys have a bearded dragon. Hey, that Michelle. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you came over here, that Michelle. Welcome. I seen you got a bearded dragon. It's so exciting because, I'm a bearded dragon freak. I have like 7. All right, so yeah. Let me get on about this case. So last night I really thought that guy looked like, that it might have been Maddie's boyfriend, because if you look at her Instagram, you could see that he had like very similar, like the same hat, same shoes. You love seeing me with earrings. They drive me crazy, but I'm working through the pain for, I guess to look nice. Hey Sarah, how you feeling, girl? And so I thought it looked, I was like, man, that, like, I really think it's her boyfriend. Well, it's not her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was in Boise, Idaho. Am I saying that right? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. The kids won't forget help me with figure out what to get them for Christmas. I've had everyone in the fam ask. They keep telling everyone they don't want anything. They don't want anything. Big ass and that's awesome. Well, if you ever need any bit of dragon advice, I'm your girl. Hey Parker. And so yeah, it's not it is not that guy. Hold on 1 second. So but I do think, based on what I've been looking, okay, yeah, I got all the answers. If the best care advice, Tina, to get bearded dragon advice, if you go on like the bearded dragon Facebook pages that's like where I learned everything. And now over time, I've just learned from just having them. But now over time, I've just, I've learned having them as pets, like all their care and stuff. But their Facebook pages definitely help a lot. So based on what I've been seeing, it looks like, and I can't completely confirm this. Yeah, they do. You're right. They do. They're mean. They are mean as shit on that page. They do. There's ones that are like non-judgmental ones, but yeah, they do get. But if you're on this page, like if they have a lot of like care pictures and stuff where they'll show you like what you should get. And they really help, but they do jump down your throat. They are kind of mean, I'll admit. Yeah, I think a lot of people who originally get a bearded dragon, they don't know anything about them, realize that they've made a few mistakes. Like when I first got one, I thought they just needed a heat lamp, and they need more than that. And they need their humidity low. A lot of people think they need water. You do need baths, but their humidity got to be low. And big boxes. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to say that it's not that guy. And so apparently, hey Greg, snowstorm. Yeah, I heard the snowstorm in New York is crazy. It's like 60 inches of snow. It's a lot of snow. I think it was 60 inches. It was a lot of freaking snow. Let me drink my Red Bull. But yeah, I saw pictures of it. Like they had it at like the football field. The snow was probably like up to like waist deep high. It was a lot. We have a lot of snow, Crystalline. We'll be safe. Hey, Randy man. All right, I need to get sponsored by Red Bull because I'll be drinking them on my lives all the time. Okay. So yeah, hoodie guy. Supposedly, he's been 6 feet. Yeah. I saw. Yeah, the Bills Stadium looks terrible. Are you a Bills fan, Parker? Is that where you were? I can't remember. I remember you wearing something like that. I'll share it. I'll share it soon, Dallas. I'm just gonna go over a few things and then I'll share the link. All right. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. I need to find it on myself. So, if you're new to this case, I knew. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. That. So, do you have all that snow there, Parker? That's crazy. It's a lot of damn snow. I like snow, but I don't like that much snow. Like, I have to shovel my car out and I can't go anywhere for a few days, and we're going to have some problems because I don't like it. But I do like a little bit of snow. Like, like 12 inches, that kind of snow. I can deal with that. You can still go sledding and enjoy it, but it's not like annoying. You're on a 5-hour trip with your husband and brother-in-law to go hunting or to come up, but they won't shut up long enough. Oh, that's all right. Well, if they do shut up, you're welcome to come up. I'll share the link in a little bit, and if anyone wants to come up and break the case down and talk about it, we can have an open panel. Oh, so you only got a dusting. Wow. It's still, they have over 4 feet and it's still snowing. That's crazy. We have I don't know how close it is to Buffalo, but we have like a mountain house in PA, but it's like, really, really far up in PA, so close that it's near like Hancock, New York. So we're like kind of close there. I don't know. I don't even know if that's anywhere near Buffalo, though, honestly. Okay, so maybe I should start from give a little like summary from the beginning for people who don't know what's going on with this case. Oh my gosh. I've been having like really bad sinus stuff. I don't know what's going on. Thought it was allergies, but at the same time I started my heat. I'm all dried out. I don't know what it is. Oh, he lives up near. Oh, Britt's dad lives up near New York. I didn't know that. I wonder if he got snow. All right. Let me just do like a little summary. See if I can get like a timeline. I have like a timeline thing, but I just okay. This will work. Let me share my screen. All right, so what was the date that it happened? Like I know all the times and everything, but I don't remember what the exact date was. Doesn't say the actual date. What day was it? The 15th, I think it was. Wasn't it the 15th? The 14th or the 15th, I think. You're above Syracuse. So we got a lot of New Yorkers in here. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Rebellious Rose. All right, so I think it was on the 15th. I could be Saturday. Oh, okay, Saturday night. So the 12th into the 13th. All right, thank you. So there's a house of 6 girls. Kaylee, Maddie, Dylan, Bethany, Zana, and who's the other girl? Can't think of her name. I can't think of the 6th girl. Bethany, Dylan, Kaylee, Maddie. There should be. Isn't there 6 girls? There are only 5. So there's 2 survivors and 3 girls that were killed in a. Or maybe one of them was gone. I'm not sure. All right, so here's a picture of all 4 of them. This is Maddie Mogan, Kaylee. Let me just make sure I'm reading her name right. I think it's Calves. That's her. All of them were so pretty. That's Xana Kernodle, I think her last name is. Xana Kernodle, okay. And then that's her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin. The girls did work at a Greek restaurant called like Mad Greek or something like that. I didn't think about that. Maybe like a coworker who worked with them. I didn't think about that. And wasn't it Xana and Kaylee who worked at the Greek? Because that would be a big that's a good point. And I'll explain why all right, so I was wondering if it will. I keep thinking like, I felt like Xana wasn't a target because she has a boyfriend and, maybe it was, the other 2 girls and they were just collateral damage. But I'm pretty sure Xana and Kaylee work at the Greek place. So maybe the guy was targeting those 2 girls from work and Maddie was Maddie and Ethan were collateral damage. Because Kaylee and Maddie were best friends, so they might have been in the same room, and then Xana and Ethan in the same room, and that would explain why. So it was really confusing to me because I believe they were on 2 different floors. So I was like, if they were just targeting, Maddie or Kaylee, why would they go to the other floor and kill Xana and her boyfriend? But now you got me thinking, if it was somebody from their work that was mad at Kaylee and Xana, then Maddie and Ethan could be collateral damage. That makes so much sense. Good point, Tony. Good point. Okay. Oh, and Lynn, what you sent me, I heard that has been debunked. A fake account did that. I don't know why, but. So I've heard that. I'll show you a layout of the house. Let me Zillow it real quick. I have a couple pictures too, but I'll explain how it's set up so that you guys have a better understanding of like the layout. Sorry if anyone came from Melissa and Jay's last night because we went over, like, we literally spent the whole time mapping out the house. But I won't spend a bunch of time on that because I pretty much have it mapped out now. It won't take me long. Come on. Here we go. All right. All right, so in a nutshell, Kaylee and Maddie were at a bar called the Corner Pub, I think. They leave, they go to a food truck, they get home around 1:45. Ethan and Xana were at a party. They leave, they get home around 1:45. So they all get home close to the same time. They all arrive home. Then from 2:26 to 2:46, Kaylee makes 6 phone calls to this guy, Jack. I believe it's her ex-boyfriend. They share a puppy together. And then I believe they were killed sometime between 3 and 4 a.m. It sounds like they were sleeping. And yes, there is a link. Lynn just had Nightbot do it. Beatlemaniac. And okay, so here's the best I can do with this house. This is the kitchen. All right, let me show you hold on. Actually, let me show you something else before I show you the room so you have a better understanding of why it's this weird layout. The side of the house kind of explains it a little better. Okay, so the link didn't work. All right, hold on, let me try. It should work for your phone. Hold on. Try that. If that doesn't work, then I think it's like n.youtube.com. I could be totally typing this wrong. I'm just guessing. I think I remember seeing it like this, so maybe that will work too. Hey, it worked. Hey, thank you, Beatlemaniac. I know, the iPhone is goofy. It drives me crazy. Yay. Okay. Thank you for joining, girl. Welcome to the Lizard Lounge. By the way, I didn't know this until I made this, that a group of lizards is actually called a lounge. Fun fact. Okay, so this is the side of the house. All right, so if you've been watching the coverage, they mainly show like the front driveway, and right here the first floor parking levels where the driveway is, where the cars, then this right here is a bedroom, and then next to this is a living room. This is the kitchen, where it says second floor, and then above here is 2 bedrooms and a bathroom on the 3rd floor. As of last night, Thursday, the Range Rover was still in the parking lot. I thought, yeah, I that surprises me too. Okay, Lynn. So that's what the side of the house looks like. Just keep note of that because it is weird because it's on a hill and it like splits. So there's a first floor that kind of is like half a basement, and then there's a second floor, and the second floor is also at ground level, but when the hill goes up, it's on the hill. So the back of the second floor where the kitchen is at ground level, and then 3rd floor is up with a big deck that wraps around. All right. Sorry. This is the kitchen. So this is 2nd floor backyard, ground level. And then this is near the kitchen. This right here is like the steps that come from 1st floor by so these steps come from the 1st floor down where the parking is. So if there hasn't been murders there for quite some time, has the coroner had any? I don't think so. I don't think she's had any. From what I've heard, she doesn't have experience with a knife autopsy. Okay, so this is the steps that go down to the basement. We'll say the 1st floor is a basement because it's sort of half a basement. Then the steps come up and walk into like a living area. As you can see, this is the living room. And then if you go right here, you can see there's this bedroom right here. I believe this is the bedroom where the blood was dripping, or the other one. It's either this one or the other one, but no, it wouldn't be this one. It would be the other one on the other side. Okay, so I guess it goes like living room, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, and then a bedroom on the other side. And the bedroom on the other side is where the blood was coming down. So let me think. Hold on. Oh no, that would be the bed. Okay, so that's the front. Hold on. No, one. Okay. So I guess I'm confused. I think this is the front window to the car. So that's the front window to the cars. And this bedroom is behind it. So that would be on the left side. So that's not the room where the blood was. It would be over here. There's a bedroom over here, and that's where the blood was. That's supposedly where Ethan and Xana were. Okay, so Vicky Stone, there was 4 college students killed in a brutal stabbing. You get floor pan dreams again. This won't be that long, I promise. So the bedroom over here is through that way is where Xana and her boyfriend were killed, I believe. I can't confirm, but I'm pretty sure they were on the 2nd floor based on what I've heard. They believe it is a targeted attack. It was like really brutal. They were out. Both the couple, Xana and Ethan, were out at a party and came home around 1:45. And Kaylee and Madison, 2 best friends, were out at a bar, and they came back, and then shortly after, someone came in through their kitchen sliding glass door, it seems like, and brutally killed them. And Tony made a good point, because initially I thought maybe Kaylee and Madison were the target. But then I kept saying, if that was the case, why would the killer come upstairs and go to Xana's room too? Like, and leave the other two girls? Why would they go there? But now Tony said about the Greek place, and it kind of makes sense. If Xana and Kaylee worked at the Greek place together, so maybe he was targeting them two girls, and Madison was with Kaylee, so she was collateral, and Ethan was with Xana, so he was collateral, which makes so much more sense why he would go after both of them. Yay, Lynn! Thank you. Yeah, so I do too. I think you still think the roommates were on the first floor. I don't know what I think about that, honestly, because I've heard a reporter say that there was bodies found on the first floor, but then I saw Kaylee's room, which looked like it was on the third floor. So I still don't know where the other two roommates were, but it's either Kaylee and Madison were on the bottom floor, and so they have two other roommates who were unharmed that didn't call 911. Apparently they were probably sleeping until the cops got there and had no idea that even when anything happened. But it doesn't surprise me, just because if you've ever been to a college house, on the weekends, people will just come in your house. You won't even know who the hell they are. Like, they'll just see a party. They'll just walk in. If you don't lock your door, they'll just come sit in your room and hang out. There's literally no boundaries when it comes to college towns and partying. So they probably locked their bedroom doors and, didn't even hear anything. Or the killer wasn't targeting them and didn't go up there. I would assume that the cops, think that probably, something, I would hope they think it's work related, because now that makes more sense. And I didn't even think of it that way, but that's a great point. And I'm glad you said that to me. All right. So this is the kitchen. There's the backyard or the kitchen. This is just one angle from the kitchen. And then from that angle, you're looking at the other side of the kitchen. Same here. This is I think, second floor bathroom. This is a third floor bedroom, I believe. This looked like it was Kaylee's room because she does a TikTok in here. So I don't know. I just feel like this may be her room. Unless she was filming in somebody else's room. Hold on. So this is the other bedroom up there. There's two bedrooms on each floor. So this is, the second floor bathroom. Is this, I guess, the living room? Okay, so that's the living room to the left, then the bathroom. Then a bedroom in there. This is the second floor. This, I'm assuming, is in the basement. This this might be one of the second floor, based on the flooring. Maybe one of the second floor bedrooms. This is a second floor bedroom. I believe this is the bedroom where the blood was dripping from, like right in this area. So I think this is Xana, where Xana and Ethan were sleeping. Hey, Nina. Okay, so it is a 3-story house. The first floor, you can walk in from the first floor driveway, but it's kind of like a basement. Here, I'll show you from the side again. I'll show the side picture so you can see. You can walk in the basement. the first floor and the second floor are both at ground level because it's on a hill. It's hard to explain without showing the side of the house. Give me a second, I'll pull it up real quick. So this is the side of the house. As you can, this is the first floor, and then here is like the underground part of the first floor. Then here's the second floor where the bedroom and a living room is at, and this is the kitchen and another bedroom on this side of the second floor. And then there's steps that go up to a third floor that's over here. So there's sliding doors right here that lead out to a ground level backyard. And this is also ground level too because it's on a hill. That helps, Linda. So 3-story, including basement. The Mad Greek, I think it was called, Parker. The Mad Greek, I believe. Okay, so I believe this is Xana, where Xana and Ethan were sleeping, and the blood was dripping right in this like corner right here. That's just another view. This is, I think, a basement room just based on the breaker being down here. This is also a basement room. I don't know if it's the same room, just at a different angle, but this is definitely a basement room. You could see the steps that walk up to the living room here. Same, just another view. So I guess bedroom, bathroom probably in between here. This is ground level. Look, this is one of the bedrooms because you can see the car right there. This is the third floor balcony right outside of what I thought was Kaylee's room on the third floor. This is right at the kitchen doors. Like if you walk out the kitchen sliding doors, this is where you come to. Supposedly, this is where the killer probably have entered through the glass sliding doors. So now you have an idea. Yeah, 3 with the basement. But it's kind of like it's a basement, but it's not, you know what I mean? Because it's at ground level, but we'll just call that the basement for easier, you know. Maybe Hope. Maybe I think it's possible for sure. I definitely think it's possible he was could have been waiting, or no, you didn't miss much at all. I was just going over the layout of the house, Christina. If you know like the gist of everything, then you should be fine. Sorry. All right, let me go through all the stuff I had. Okay, so let's start with Hoodie Guy. I believe Hoodie Guy. So if everyone hasn't seen, there is video of Maddie and Kaylee last night, and they are getting food at a food truck, and a guy walks up with them and kind of like stands back but is with them sort of, but they're not really talking to him much. And then they move to the other side where you pick up the food from the food truck, you order in one window, and then you move down to get your food, and he kind of moves with them. And then he starts talking to another guy there, but kind of standing with them, and they point to him and talk to him here and there. And then the girls leave and get in their Uber, and the guy looks a little surprised that they just left him. And the guy he was talking to says like, "Oh, hey, look, they're leaving." And then he leaves, and it looks like he may wave to the girls in the Uber and say something, and then, goes off in the other direction. Here we call them walkout basements. And if it's half garage, it's a tuck under garage. Gotcha. Kind of want to look it up and draw it out floor by floor. Yeah, it's definitely a weird weird layout. So let me pull up. Okay. So hoodie guy who was in the video, a lot of people thought it was some guy stalking them and he was being really strange. He had a white hoodie on, like a brown jacket over top, and like black pants and some like tennis shoes on. Well, that guy, I believe, is Jack S, which is an ex of Kaylee. Kaylee and him have a dog together. This will explain it a little bit. All right, so I guess they dated at one point and they had bought a dog together. And they split custody of this dog. He lives nearby in the apartment building behind them. And that's who I believe she called that night at 2:36 in the morning. Now, he's supposedly cooperating with police and has been cleared. Oh, thank you, Hope, for the super sticker. Thank you. Sorry if it takes me a second to thanks, Hope. I try. So here's a video. You can see he's actually wearing the white hoodie, it looks like, and similar shoes. My screen is so bright. All right, let me play. And that's their puppy. I think his name's Marley. And that's Kaylee right there. And just so you guys can see, I'll show you Kaylee's TikTok too. So you can see her doing a video with the dog. So you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Is this one. All right, so here we go. That's her and the dog that they share. Hey, Devil. So, okay. Here's another video of them playing with the dog in the yard, it looks like. You could see she wears that. Oh, that was so close. He has the same shoes on, it looks like. The same pants, maybe. Oh, that was so close. So that's supposedly the guy. So apparently he's cooperating with police, and he's been cleared, and they've spoken with him. According to, I don't know, here goes my itchy eyes. According to the Kaylee's sister, who has been doing a lot of detective work herself, which I'm really impressed with. She's the one who found the Twitch stream of the food truck. Oh, hold on. The Twitch stream of the food truck, and she found a Ring doorbell camera footage from a neighbor showing the girls arriving home in an Uber around like 1:45 in the morning. So she's not waiting for police. All right. So from what I know about Jack S, the guy who lives nearby, who's been cleared, who was in the video, they dated from high school. Yeah, 2 beds and 1 bath on each floor. Hippiporium. Hey, Risk. Hey, Hippiporium. Okay. All right, so they met. They met in high school. and were dating up until recently, and they broke up. Apparently she removed all the pictures of them after they broke up, so that's why you don't, see them. I know, it's so sad, isn't it? Hippie It's terrible. Oh, their dog's Murphy, sorry. That's what it says. They're both from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and both moved to Moscow for school. The dog Murphy, people have been speculating, was bought by them sometime this spring around March. After they broke up, they decided to share the dog, and then the night of the killing, the dog was staying at Kaylee's house while she and Maddie went downtown to the bar. Sometime after the bar, Maddie and Kaylee met up with him, and that's where they are seen at the truck. No, not Jack S. I definitely didn't say that. That's funny. So he lives in the neighboring apartment complex directly across the road from the girl's house. Now, she called him at 2:36 in the morning. Maybe she felt something was weird, or she heard something and was nervous, and she called him because she was scared. She called him 6 times. Hey, Milena. She called him 6 times, so, she was, sounds like she was upset about something. I believe, like, the apartment building's, like, really close to them, too. All right, so let me keep. All right, so Mark Furman on Fox News had said that Kaylee may have had a stalker. And, there was, people speculating that she may have had a stalker. So that makes me wonder if maybe, like Tony said, it was a guy from work. And that's particularly why he targeted Xana and Kaylee, which is, I didn't even think of that. But that really would kind of piece it together why he didn't just get Maddie and Kaylee, who may have been together, but he took the time to go get Xana too. Xana and Ethan, who were what seems like in a separate room, and if he worked with them both, then that would really make a lot of sense. So I feel like they need to, really look into their job. So a lot of people were speculating in the beginning that Jack may be involved because he is a hunter. He would have access to that particular kind of knife, I guess, and, whatever. But he's been interviewed by police, and he's been cleared, supposedly. Okay, hold on. I'll show you here's an interview with Kaylee's sister on News Nation, the one who found the Twitch stream. And hey, inbred outcast, guy in checkered flannel and light blue jeans, along with his friend, go to end of sidewalk and keep peeking around the corner until the girls leave. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll check. The guy with the long hair, is that what you're talking about? I'll have to go back and watch. We'll have to watch it after I explain everything. And the only guy I remember in a flannel is that guy with the long brown hair. I mean, there could have been another one. There were so many people there, but I noticed that guy. Okay, here we go.
Off to that video.
You found the video of your sister and her roommate at the food truck?
I was tipped off to that video on Sunday.
And when you gave it to the police, you didn't like how they handled it?
I won't necessarily say that. I will say I think that they're probably processing a lot of information. And they, basically just said, thank you. But I never really heard any follow-up on that. I did wind up getting in contact with someone a few days after Sunday, and I was able to provide more of a timeline that I had created. And it did seem like they needed more video of that food truck. So I provided that then as well. So that was a little frustrating. But again, there's so many agencies involved here. I can't say I necessarily blame them.
You were curious about one of the men that you saw in the video and you tracked him down?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were curious about that person. We were able to identify him. And as far as I know, he has cooperated with the police. And that's all that I know about that.
You found the video of your sister and her roommate at the food truck?
I was tipped off to that video on Sunday.
Okay, I'll go back and go on Google Earth. All right. What was that place called? The Garden something? The Garden Lounge. All right. So the Garden Lounge is where the food truck parks. Now I really think it has somebody to do with their work. I really kind of believe that. All right. So they wouldn't be able to, they would have to park on this side. It was probably right around here. And the guy who, Jack, would have had to gone that way. All right, let me look up their house. We can look at the outside of the house if it'll let me. Their house is over here. All right, we'll go on the street. And I'll check out the corner club too in a second. So this is their house. And there's the apartment buildings. Okay, so, oh wow. Sorry, my throat is, I mean, if I hurt anyone's ears. So the apartment buildings are right here. They're like right there. And they have a pretty big driveway. Let's see if we can go in the back. Oh, you can see. I like how the season just changed completely as I changed the road. Oh no. I can't get around them. It just stops. That's stupid. How funny was that? The whole season just changed like in an instant. It's funny. So it does have like a little catty corner type deal. The blood was on this side. All right. And then let's look at a corner club. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So that's not too far from the food truck. They could have easily walked there. Let's check out this corner club. Let's see why it's called the corner club. Oh. It's small. Okay. All right, let me see. Let me go through my stuff. So, yeah, apparently she may have had a stalker, Kaylee, so maybe it was somebody from work. Now I'm going to have to go down a whole rabbit hole with people who... What do you want me to play? The, watch bottom left screen of the video, Ikmail, to see if the guy in the flannel blue jeans and his friend. All right, yeah, I'll get that in 1 second. Let me just go down the stuff of what I have, and then I will pull up that video. So here's a little clip from Mark Furman's interview. I think this is where he says the stalker thing.
Let's bring in Mark Furman, former LA police detective. You live in Idaho. Mark, good morning to you. You've talked to some students. What have you found out? And where are you now as to how far police or investigators may or may not be?
Well, good morning, Bill and Sandra.
So
I mean, it's beyond tragic what happened.
He lives in the area, and he's been talking to some students.
In Moscow, but you know, I talked to students as early as Monday. I talked to alumni, some parents, not the parents of the victims, but what I did learn is I knew about these two girls that were in the apartment, in the house, that at the exact time of the murder, and their story was they heard partying. They heard noise, but they just, as usual, said, you know, there's partying going on, and they locked the door. It's interesting that they said they locked the door, and then I talked to more students, and they go, well, when you're in a house that has a party and you don't want to party, you lock the door so nobody comes in. But it does actually create some more of the timeline. Now we have Madison and Kaylee that went to a food truck at 3:43. So when I'm trying to reconstruct
at 3:43
this series of events. We know that Madison and Kaylee are alive at 3:43. They go back to the house. Was that food eaten? Was that food still in packaging? Was that food part of the attack where it was?
I thought they went to the food truck at like 1:45. So I'm so confused. So if they went to the food truck at 3, did she call Jack and invite him to go to the food truck with them? There's no way. There's no way. That doesn't make any sense. I thought they left the food truck at like 1 something. I think he's wrong on that, but yeah, there's no way.
The perpetrator
really slow to
was the target, but why? And determination. There was something at the scene that attack, and I think this is really important in this investigation at almost day 6. The targeted attack, it wasn't because they have seen so many homicides of this type they could make that determination. There was something at the scene that made them think that one of those victims was the target, but why? And I think it's time that they release at least the basis for that impression, because somebody might actually know something about one of the victims that they relayed before the murder.
Seems like so much of the information has been really, really slow to come out here. We caught up with Dr. Michael Bodden yesterday, forensic pathologist, who said that this gruesome scene that we've seen, the very graphic images of, Mark, should reveal more, particularly when it comes to possibly obtaining the DNA of the perpetrator. Because there can be slippage with the knife with this many stab wounds. I mean, horrific to talk about, but he said this yesterday.
When there's this many stab wounds and there's a lot of blood is very slippery, and sometimes the perpetrator is cut by the slippage of the knife, and some of the blood at the scene can belong to the perpetrator. And DNA will be able to evaluate that.
Hopefully that takes them somewhere with this.
All right. I totally agree, Sandra. And Dr. Bodden makes a good point about slippage. Blood is incredibly slippery. And in a battle with 4 different people, maybe 4 different times or some 2 at a time, there is a chaos. And you have to remember that the attacker is also trying to hold and fend off the victim with one hand and stab with the other. And sometimes his hand or forearm or even leg might come in contact with the blade. But there's another thing. The suspect is walking in blood. There should be a shoe print, a footprint, a boot print. There should be something at that scene that they cannot attribute to the police or the first responders that actually arrived. So that's important. The possibility that there's a 5th blood type / DNA there from the suspect's blood is huge. And I think that's what the FBI and ISP went in to try to find, to actually identify all the blood types. So these are important, but the targeted attack with a knife is a knife is a weapon of rage. And if one victim had, numerous stab wounds more than every other victim, then you could assume that the one victim was the target and the rest were collateral. But then you have to actually tell the public who was the target, because people talk before this incident. And I talked to one student, and I agree with this. It was twice removed from the person that said it, Kaylee. But Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker.
And there may be something to that. Yeah, Mark, thank you so much. Very interesting. And you say the most important thing is that the murder rate in Moscow, Idaho is 0, which could have an impact in the investigation. Mark Furman, thanks. We'll call on you again very soon. Thanks for your time.
Okay, so yeah, I know who Ickmel is. I will definitely grab it. I'm almost done my list of things. I just don't want to lose where I am and then forget what I was talking about. Okay. So apparently, I guess they said Kaylee's dog has been returned to a secondary owner, so I'm guessing that's him. Like Jack, the guy Jack that she called. Now that I know he's been cleared, I don't want to go through all the stuff that I had. So then somebody said that Jack was questioned by police today. Lots of rumors that it's one of the girls' boyfriends. And then the person said, but it's not, it's their neighbor. And then somebody commented and said, the stalker is their neighbor? Okay, so, all right, here's where this came from. So there was this girl on Twitter named Sav. Now, I can't confirm that, this girl is who she says she is or whatever. But, do you remember the bigger guy who was talking to Hoodie Guy in the, for people who saw it, which I will show it after. Okay, so in the food truck video, Hoodie Guy starts talking to this bigger fella and they start exchanging conversation. This chick right here claims to be that guy's friend. the bigger guy, and that he was questioned by police. And she said, yeah, there's lots of rumors. One of them is that it's one of the girls' boyfriends. And she says, but it's not, it's their neighbor. And then somebody comments and said, their stalker is their neighbor. And then she said, he said that's what the police told him. So she's saying that it's not any of the boyfriends, that they have a stalker who's their neighbor. So that's important to keep in mind too. And if it was their say they did have a stalker that's their neighbor, that would make sense why he would kill them all to, like, you know, target all them. The other girls' doors were locked, which totally makes sense to me. That's how colleges are. People would just walk up in your room. If you didn't hear me say this in the beginning, at college houses, if you don't lock your door, drunk people will just come in and sit on your bed and fall asleep with you, or start chatting, or start partying in your room. So if you want to get some sleep, you gotta lock the door. It just happens. Sometimes people you don't even know just show up and, you know, do whatever. So it's really, that's how party houses are at college. That's how it is. So possibly a neighbor. Obviously, I can't confirm that, but that's, you know, a direction we can go down, you know. Check out the neighbors. Well, if he lives in the apartments, then we're kind of screwed, because it's a lot of neighbors, but maybe it's a neighbor that lives in one of the houses. All right, so according to the coroner, she believes they were all sleeping in their beds, sounds like, and the sheriff kind of, you know, said that too. Like, he believes they were all sleeping. There was multiple stab wounds, but one particular main stab wound on each one that killed them. I'm guessing like the chest area. According to Xana's dad, she fought back. She had a lot of bruises and knife drag marks on her body. Whoever it was very angry, put it that way. And here we go. I'll just show this real quick. This is John Webb talking to... Oh, where'd I go? No. Oh, I got a million things open. Nope. Here it is. I was just with Chief James Fry. I asked him if the victims were bound and gagged, because there was a rumor by a fake name who pretended to be one of the roommates and said that they were bound and gagged. He said it was not a hostage situation. There's nothing that would lead us to believe anything like that. I asked if he thinks they were killed in their sleep, and he said yes. So that would explain why the roommates may have not heard of anything, because, you know, they were probably asleep. I asked him to elaborate more on why they believe it was a targeted attack. He said, we look at the totality of things, we look at the facts we know from the crime scene, and then we make a formulated decision at that point. So, by looking at the totality of things, they believe it was particularly targeted for some reason. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. So this was 3 weeks before the murders. I haven't seen this yet. I'm just going to read it just because I just scrolled upon it. It says, Moscow public alert. This sounds like clickbait, but it's not. Last night, after 2 a.m., our neighbor's sweet little dog was skinned like a deer. No animal did this. Our dog is bigger, and he was so anxious about the same time that he tore his bed into 1,000 pieces. Also, our cat has been missing for the last couple days. Not sure if it's tied to Halloween, and I really don't care. I'll be chambering all my firearms. I would suggest everyone else in North Moscow to do the same. Hold on. Let me take this guy's name because I don't want to forget that. There was also somebody with like that had a knife, but I believe they found that guy. Like the guy who was carrying the knife. All right. And then, not fake news. Someone named Melissa White said, not fake news. This was our neighbor's dog. Other weird things with animals have been happening in the neighborhood too. Wild animals being dismembered. So apparently someone was dismembering wild animals. That's strange. Hey, Cheryl. How you doing? Hey, Chloe Joe. How creepy is that? Ugh. And the roommates have been fully cooperative. These are people who may have seen the crime on the side. Okay, hold on. No signs of SA. Detectives do not believe the roommates or the male in the food truck video are involved. Per Alexandra Dugan from at Duggan Reports, I think she's a reporter. She said that no signs of SA. Detectives don't believe the roommates or food truck guys involved. Online reports of victims bound is not accurate, and the 911 caller has not been released. So that's the latest. And let me see what this is.
And thank you for joining us here on the news at 6.
Let's just watch this little clip, and then I will go to the ICML video. I don't think ICML will mind if I play it.
I'm Shira Matsuzawa, and just into the newsroom, we have new details about who is not a suspect in the murders in Moscow. We got a news release from the city of Moscow just a short time ago, minutes ago, in fact, and it's been 5 days since 4 University of Idaho students were found dead inside their home just off campus. And let's bring in investigative reporter Morgan Romero, who has been going through that press release or that news release. Morgan, what have you learned?
Well, you know, first and foremost, Shira, at this time in the investigation, police are saying that the 2 roommates who were home at the time of the attack are not considered to be involved in the crime. So that was a lot of speculation on social media and a lot of questions that we had. We knew they were home when the attack happened. We also knew that they were home when police got there. Now police saying that they do not believe they're involved in the crime. As we've been previously reporting, they were also not hurt and they are fully cooperating. Also important to note, neither is the young man who was seen with Madison and Kaylee in this Twitch video from the food truck that we showed you on the news at noon and the news at 4. Again, speculation around that as well, that perhaps he was involved in some possible way, but police saying again, at this time in the investigation, they do not believe that he is a suspect or person of interest or involved in the crime. The coroner is also saying that likely all 4 of the victims were asleep. Previously, we said at least some of them were asleep. Now we're saying it's likely all 4 were. There was also no sign of sexual assault. We know Kaylee and Madison took an Uber from this food truck where you're seeing this video from to their house on King Road. Ethan Chapin, one of the victims, we're also learning, did not live at the house at the time. He was just visiting. As we've been previously reporting, he was with Xana Kernodle that night. As part of the investigation, detectives took stuff out of 3 dumpsters on King Road near the house to locate any possible evidence. Detectives also contacted local businesses to determine if a fixed blade knife specifically was bought in the area recently. Moscow Police Chief James Fry says this Twitch video that you're seeing is really helping give them the time and space of where Maddie and Kaylee were leading up to their deaths. We also learned from police in this news release that they sent out, detectives have received about 500 tips. They've interviewed 38 people so far. They're also dispelling a lot of information. I have this press release printed off. They are going through a lot of things that they've been seeing on social media, questions that they've been getting, and they're dispelling some of those rumors as well. And so, as we've been saying this entire time, oftentimes when there's silence in a case like this that has so much public interest, a lot of people fill that vacuum with speculation and rumors. And so we here at KTVB are really trying to stick to the facts as well. And I think that is a big reason why law enforcement put out this press release this evening after a couple days of not a lot of new information. Yesterday, the coroner's office released the autopsies and they found all 4 victims were stabbed to death with a knife early Sunday morning. They don't have the exact time that they were stabbed. Police have not found a suspect or suspects. They don't have any people of interest right now. Again, reiterating, they cleared those people they mentioned, the roommates, as well as the boys seen in the video with them. Earlier, police put out a clear picture of the hours before the attack. They released a timeline today and the locations of where all 4 victims were before they were murdered at their home on King Road in Moscow. Take a look. This horrific attack on 4 college students happened less than a mile from the University of Idaho campus. Sororities and fraternities and their out-of-houses are mostly centralized in this area. New information from Idaho State Police reveals 2 of the victims, Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle, were together Saturday night, November 12th. They went to a Sigma Chi fraternity party across from their home on King Road from 8 to 9 p.m. The other 2 victims, Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan, were at the Corner Club on Main Street. It's about a mile and a half away from the home on King Road. Police say they were there from around 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. After leaving the bar, the girls went to the Grub Truck just down Main Street from the Corner Club. It's about a 6-minute walk. They're seen in a video from the food truck, ordering food around 1:40 Sunday morning. U of I students tell us it's a common weekend routine to go from the Corner Club to the food truck. Idaho State Police says all 4 victims were back at the King Road house, a little more than a mile from the food truck, by 1:45 a.m. Sunday, November 13th. What unfolded after that is unclear. It wasn't until noon on Sunday police received a call of an unconscious person. When they got to the home on King Road, they found the 4 victims, Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Maddie, dead. They confirm all 4 were stabbed early Sunday morning. The Latah County coroner tells us all the victims could have been killed with the same knife or a very similar knife. Police say they haven't yet found the weapon. And we're also learning through this press release that the identity of the 911 caller has not been released at this time. We will continue to work towards finding that information. Also, just into the newsroom, the Alumni Relations Organization emailed Vandal alum this evening saying that along with more police presence on campus and in the town of Moscow, the University of Idaho brought on a private security firm to beef up the regular campus security team. And also, any student, employee, or visitor can get a security escort on campus day or night if they're choosing to be there, if they're either waiting until tonight to go home or this weekend, or if they're staying throughout fall break because they can't come home. And again, just to reiterate, police saying they have not identified a person of interest or a suspect yet, but they want anyone near these areas who saw anything suspicious, has any surveillance video, ring cameras perhaps, or can provide any information to call the tip line. That number is right there on your screen.
I wasn't talking yet. I was just getting the link real quick in case anybody wanted to watch this particular thing. I know. I can't imagine either, especially, like, I'm hoping that the other girls were, like, asleep and it just happened fast and, you know, they didn't really, like, you know, suffer. But the fact that Xana fought back really has me just, hey, Lori. It's sad. All right, so let's go to ICML. You're still here, and Brad, I'm going over there now. I guess this one?
I'm going to play.
So is this at the end of the video? I'm not going to play the sound because I don't think we really need the sound. But ICML has a lot of good videos on this too. So check him out, guys. ICKEDMEL. 2 guys in the video after they turned away from everyone to say something. So were they towards the end, Ember? $3.58. All right, hold on. That's a timestamp. So that is the guy. So that girl Sav that I said, that's the guy I was talking about, the bigger guy. he said their neighbor is the stalker, according to her. Why does it keep doing that? All right, I'll go to like 356. It's like so many more people here at this time. This guy right here. Is that a flannel or is it like a bubble jacket? Is that the guy you're talking about? They are bottom left.
Let's go.
The only one sorry if you guys hear yelling, it's my husband gaming and just yelling, and he can't hear himself because he's on the headphones. So I'll be like screaming stuff. That's the only guy I see in a flannel. Or are you talking about these people back here? But the girls are still here at this point. Did they come back? They do stand there for a while, though. You see they're still there? Are they waiting for somebody who's getting food, maybe? They're still there. Oh, he walks off. He's... Maybe they're waiting for an Uber, too. I mean, it could be... They're still there, but I wonder if they could be like waiting for an Uber or something. Oh, my eyes are itchy again. I wonder if they leave when the girls do, if they just keep sitting there. That might be like an Uber spot because it looks like kind of like a courtyard type area. You know, sometimes when you like order an Uber, you want to like walk away from the crowd of people so they see you. You know what I mean? Where did that guy come from? He just like came out of nowhere. Oh, he's back there, I guess. I can't see if them guys are still there. It looks like that one guy may be there. So I wonder if do they still have those Ubers where like multiple groups can get in the car at once? Like, could they have gotten in the same Uber maybe? That would be something new. Oh, I see 2 people. I see them there. Oh, is that them walking back now? Or is that different? No, it's different people, I think. Yeah, Thumb Thug, where they do like a carpool type deal where you can like get in an Uber with it, like, you know what I mean, multiple people. Did they just walk back? Is that the guy? No, maybe that's him over there. There's so many people walking up, I can't even tell anymore. I think they're still over there. Yeah. Yeah, that is a little weird. I mean, I guess they could argue that maybe they were waiting for an Uber and they were just standing away from the crowd so they could be seen, or I don't know, some people just like, if they're drinking, they'll just walk around and talk. Sneaking inside while they order food? Oh, you think the killer was sneaking inside while they ordered food?
I don't know, but I'm crying right now.
Maybe. Like he was waiting for them? I mean, it could be. That could be. Well, it's not a robber because nothing was stolen. You know what I mean? There was... So nothing was stolen. There was no essay. So it was really like out of anger. They did it because they knew them out of anger. I don't think it was just some random person. I mean, I guess it could be like some weird serial killer or something, but watch how they act at food truck. When do they walk up? It's the guy with the light jeans, right? Oh, him. Okay. So it's this guy in the gray. And then that guy walks up. wonder if there's a food place over. Sorry, I forgot I'm not sharing it. Hold on. I didn't realize I took it off the screen. Sorry, guys. They're just talking. That's them right there. And right there. Hey, pecan pie. I mean, maybe they could have like went there to look at the food and then decided not to and went over there. I don't know. I don't think they're being very suspicious though. He looks like so if you just notice, he reaches around him and he points to something that way where they go stand. So he notices something and points over there, and then they go walk over there. So he pointed to something over there to go check something out. So that there's a reason why they went over there. I don't know what it was, but he pointed over there and said like, "Hey, something's over there." And he said something and both looked towards the girl at once. Okay, chat. Happy Friday before Thanksgiving. Yeah, I can't wait to eat food. Good food. I love Thanksgiving. Let me put the link out if anyone wants to come up and talk for a little bit, for probably another half hour. And then I'm gonna hop off because I got work in the morning and I need to go get gas because I'm not gonna want to go get it in the morning. So I'm really starting to think, oh yeah, they definitely could, deserve a looking at for sure. So now I'm curious about their neighbors, and now I'm curious about, because they said their neighbor is a stalker. That guy, the bigger guy. So that bigger guy that white hoodie guy was talking to at the food truck, right? Hear me out. The bigger guy, his friend, went on Twitter and said that the police told him that they had a stalker who was a neighbor, but it wasn't any of the boyfriends. So now, thanks, and Brad. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, they definitely, I think everyone who was at that food truck should be interviewed and looked at for sure. I wonder who took the picture of them earlier that evening at their house. Good question. Because everybody from the whole house is in there, right? So who is the tag along? That's a good question too. Who was the tag along guy? I'm frustrated because I feel like, I'm like, the sleuth in me is going to go want to look into all the neighbors, you know what I mean? But I'm going to be really upset if the neighbor is somebody from that apartment building. Because if it's somebody from the apartment building, I will never find out who it is because that will just take me forever. I don't think they would tell him that either. Like, I don't think he would tell him that either. I feel like they would keep that close to the vest. But, I mean, I guess maybe their line of questioning could have had him thinking that way. Maybe they were like, do you know if they have any stalkers who live near them or something like that that would make him seem like they're going in that direction? You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to know whose big black jacket she was wearing too. And is it just me or like, all right, so there's one guy with the jersey on, right? He has a short sleeve jersey on. First off, why didn't that guy have a jacket on? and a girl in a gray hoodie walks up and kisses the guy. But then it almost looks like after she walks away, the guy goes up to Maddie and is a little chummy with her. Like, he looks like he put his hands like really close to her face. Maybe it was because he was like reaching for his ticket or something, and it just kind of looked like that. But I find it hard to believe anyone under the age of 25 is capable of this level of crime. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it seemed like, well, I think, all right, I think somebody younger than 25 is capable of doing it if they're a real strange person. You know what I mean? Like a real angry, strange person. Like, you know, maybe someone who was like abused or something, but more than likely probably older. But I'm really digging this work angle now that you said something, Tony, because it's either a stalker neighbor would be a good angle, because that would explain why they were all targeted, or somebody who worked with Xana and Kaylee, and Maddie and Ethan were collateral damage. Because Kaylee and Madison were such good friends. I could see them sleeping in the same bed together. You know what I mean? Like, not wanting to be alone and just staying in the same room together. And then Xana and Ethan were obviously in a room together. So that would, you know, it would be like collateral damage. So the work angle, they definitely need to look into their coworkers. I wish I could find, like, see if there's, what's it called? The Mad Greek. Sometimes they're like Facebook pages give away their employees. So I ate at the Mad Greek. Let me see. Mad Greek. Thank you to University of Idaho staff came by to support our Mad Greek family as we navigate. Oh, so here they are. Oh, my eyes are itchy. Jeez. I can't find my eye drops, and I've been struggling all night. Like, I have like eye drops for itchy eyes, but man, I can't find them, and I've been just clawing out my eyes. Hey, Rye.
Hello.
So you live close by to this, don't you?
Yeah, Moscow's about a little over an hour away from me.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Wow. So it's not that far. So have you heard any like rumors or anything? Like what do
All I know so far is that they sent the bodies to my city for the autopsy.
Gotcha.
And then they sent the report back.
Hey, Gen X. They sent the report back.
Yeah, sent the report back. And I heard today watching nightly news that the FBI is now involved.
Oh, yeah. I did hear the FBI was involved too.
And if I was a student there, I could care less about the grades. I'd be going home.
Yeah.
Like, my life is more important.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I'd be going home too.
That or transferring to online classes.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Okay, so here we go. Maddie and Xana worked at the Mad Greek. So, all right, so maybe Maddie and Xana were targeted, and Kaylee and Ethan were collateral, or a neighbor.
No, what I've heard is that Ethan was collateral.
I've heard, well, then that would lend the theory of like it's a stalker neighbor more to me than, but if they did have somebody who was mad at them from their job, that would make sense too, because Maddie and Kaylee were so close they could have been in the same room. And then Xana worked with him too. So either one, I feel like it could go. But I've heard Ethan was collateral as well.
And I think it's somebody that knew there, because doing a knife is personal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely someone, it was definitely a personal attack.
And what I would do if I was the cops, like there was a vigil yesterday. What I would do is look out the people who got out of there quickly.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking the killer's no longer in Moscow.
Oh, no. I think they got out of there quickly, too. Right out. Yeah, jealousy. It could be a jealousy thing, too. So, okay. So, what was... They closed at 1, 2... So
and I know two of the girls were in a sorority, and they were at a sorority party.
So the two girls were at a bar, and the guy and the girl were at Ethan's frat, like a party at Ethan's frat. A high percentage of restaurant dishwashers have criminal records. Wow. I didn't know that. Is that like a stat? So I wonder if I would like to go through these Mad Greek. All right, so I'm on the Facebook Mad Greek page, and it makes me wonder if, like, you know when like there's a killer and it's like they kind of like you feel like they might be commenting on things and checking out things to see what people are saying. I kind of want to like go through this Mad Greek page on my own. I'm not going to do it on live because there's too many names. I don't want to like dox people. But so they made a post on Sunday, which was the morning they figured that all out. And they said, "We are closing down early tonight. Sorry for the short notice." And the next day they posted, "We will be closed today to allow staff and friends and family time to grieve. As of right now, I am unsure how the next few days will go. I will update once I know when we will reopen. Thank you for understanding." And I don't know how. I don't see anyone saying that they work there, though. Hold on. And then they posted a picture of... I can show this real quick. I'll show it. It's cute. It's a picture of Maddie and Xana, and it says, "It is with a broken heart and deep sadness to share with you that we have lost two of our own here at Mad Greek. Xana and Maddie have been servers here for several years, and they brought so much joy to our restaurant and all of those they encountered. Maddie was also the face behind our social media pages. With this incredible loss, we have to shut down to process and grieve. Our deepest sympathies go out to all the friends and families, Xana, Maddie, Ethan, and Kaylee. We, as a team, offer our support to anyone in need at this time. Jackie and all of the Mad Greek family. You will be greatly missed. Thank you for being a part of our family, team, and for helping me so much over the years. Until we meet again, love, the world's best boss." That's a cute picture of them.
Hey, have you got over what I sent you in Discord?
Let me see. I didn't. Let me see what this is.
About, I'm going to dox my state. Washington State University, how they came out.
Connected by one road, Washington and Idaho are nearly 9 miles apart. Those living in either town constantly crossing the state line, whether to be see friends, go out to dinner, run errands. Two cities are connected like sisters. For the last 4 days, they are connected through frustration and fear. Hold on. So this is like a college.
Yeah, Washington State University. They're like really close.
If you're going to keep saying that we are safe, give us an indication as... Oh, here we go. Yeah. Wait. The last 4 days, they are connected through frustration and fear. If you're going to keep saying that we are safe, give us an indication as to how, Loveless said. We can't just go off your word alone. It does not ease our anxieties and our fears in this area. Tiffany Loveless is a mom of 2 young kids, and she and her family live in Pullman. Her husband is a professor at Washington State University. Loveless said she is losing sleep thinking of the families who lost a child Sunday night in Moscow. There are parents that are just at a loss, and the holidays are coming. Yeah, this is a really crappy time for this to happen. I hate when terrible tragedies happen right before, like, Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the absolute worst holiday for, like, things that happen right before.
And a lot of students are about, it's like midterms, and a lot of students are going to be heading home.
Yeah. Yeah, the FBI definitely has a lot more resources, though, and they can get things a lot quicker. They have, like, a lot of specialized, like, profiling people. They have, like, top-notch experts in whatever you need. They have a lot more resources and a lot more tools for investigators. You'd be surprised. Like, for instance, say if there was like the Kylie Rodney case where she had driven into water, a lot of police departments don't really have dive teams or like the sonar to, like, the equipment to do that kind of stuff, and they have to call in other law enforcement agencies. So it's kind of like that. The FBI has just a lot more tools and things they can bring in.
Yeah, the thing about Moscow, I've been there. It's a college town. Same with Pullman. They're both college towns.
I didn't see the memorial in Boise. I'll have to check it out.
Did you go over what one of the victim's sisters said, that no one in Moscow is safe right now?
Yeah, she told everyone to go home, and yeah. I don't blame her. I would say the same thing if my sister was killed like that. So the lady said, these parents are at a loss and the holidays are coming. You put yourself in their position and you get this phone call that your child is now gone. 4 students gone too soon, none of them making it past 21 years old. These students are the same age as countless students across the campus of the University of Idaho and SWU. Even though it didn't happen on our campus, the 2 campuses are close. I know a lot of Cougs share a relationship with vandals, and it's just hitting us hard, too. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm going to try. Fathivangza is the same age as the victims of Sunday night's killing. She has been at WSU for 4 years, never experiencing anything like this. The Palouse is usually safe, calm, and full of love. These types of things don't usually happen in Pullman or Moscow, so I think it was shocking, and the lack of information around it is hard. We might not be able to know everything right now, but I think the more effort to let us know we're safe and we can trust that. So here's the problem with that. Like, I know a lot of people want, like, instant results where, like, they want to know why they're not safe and they want to know this stuff, but there's really a lot of nutters out there who will call and confess to this shit and they didn't even do it. Like, you wouldn't believe how many calls these cops get where people will say they did this and they didn't do it, and they can figure that out by keeping things close to the vest. And when they interview these people, they'll ask them specific questions, and if that person gets the questions wrong, then they know it's not them. So that's why they keep things, like I said, close to the vest, because you would not believe how many people actually do call in and confess the things they didn't do, which is really bizarre, but I mean, it happens a lot. I watched a documentary. They usually take trophies. Yeah, like the one that called it in. Did the one that called it in say anything like that? So I think this is what I think about the person who called it in. I know they said like they called it in as somebody unconscious, like outside or something like that, but it may be just how the 911 operator relayed the message, or like a neighbor saw somebody laying on the floor and it didn't look right, so they called because they seen they were laying there for a while through the door or something like that, and they called. I don't know, or I don't know who called or why they called or how it got that way, but it could just be how the 911 operator relayed the message to police, and that's why it could have came in that way. But I've heard that Jack, the dog guy, the guy who shared the dog with Kaylee, may have been the one who found them. I was thinking maybe he went over there to pick up the dog, like maybe it was like his day or, his week for the dog or whatever. Or he tried calling Kaylee back because she called him 6 times in the middle of the night. And maybe he tried calling her back and she didn't answer. So he walked over there and, found issues and called 911. And it could have just been how it was relayed, That's what I'm thinking.
And the 2 other roommates, I'm kind of glad they didn't call because they could have been dead too.
So, someone commented, is it okay if I read this out, Parker? 6. One of the homes, possibly. Wonder if that's true. Or like somebody might have called someone on camera. So then they would have a car. They may have called a car on camera. If they do, then they could probably narrow it down with a car. I agree, Pecan. There's got to be some kind of shoe. So it says one of the homes caught something in the wee hours of the morning, presumably when the murders took place. Caught a car parking. The dog goes crazy. Then the car leaves shortly after. I hope so too. I just can't see somebody being that stupid to take a car to the crime scene. I could see like the stalker neighbor just walking over there and walking home. But there's got to be some kind of footprints, shoe tracks, some kind of DNA. I mean, the one girl fought the dude. She might have DNA under her fingernails. But here's the thing. All right, so I was like, the person who did this got to have cuts all over. You know what I mean? Usually when this happens, a knife slides and you end up cutting yourself because of the slippery blood. Well, apparently the knife used, it's called like a Kabar knife or something. I don't know. I call it a Rambo knife. I just like the word Rambo. I'm not going to tell you why, but I do. And it just sounds cool to me, so I'm going to call it a Rambo knife, but it's really called like a Kabar knife. The Kabar knife the handle is particularly designed so that your hand doesn't, it's like a military knife, I guess, and it's designed, Parker said this earlier, so I'm trying to remember what she said. She said it's like a military knife that's designed to stop your hand from slipping by the way that the grip is. The knife, you want to see the knife? All right, hold on. Let's just Google the knife. The big knife. So how does the grip, it just has a big thing on the bottom, I guess? It's called a Kabar, a fighting knife. But I thought, so I guess they're all different. There's some that are edge. Is it? Because a lot of them, all right, so apparently this one in particular, I believe it's like smooth on top and then edged on the bottom. Yeah, right, bro. Well, most of y'all already know my list. Well, my mom's maiden name is Rambo. And I have other ties to liking the Rambo name too. Don't be doxing me, y'all. Just, that's why I like the name so much. But yeah, look. See how it's like serrated here, and then it's like smooth here. That's how that's what I think it is, like how they said it looks like that. That's Wikipedia. I just want to read about it. Or K-bar? Is that how you say it? K-bar? Kabar? K. No, I wanted to like, doesn't it do the sound like it tells you? K-bar? I think because K-bar, okay. I think because it has like a specific, like I said, it's smooth, and then it has like a specific jagged little serrated area. So like, I guess maybe they could tell by the knife wounds that, and like how big the wounds are, that it was this particular knife. I don't think they all have serrated ones. I think it's just certain ones. I don't know, but let's look. A K-bar knife is a contemporary popular name for a combat knife. First adopted by the United States Marine Corps in 1942 as the 1219C2 combat knife, later designated the USMC Mark II combat knife fighting utility, subsequently adopted by the United States Navy as the U.S. Navy utility knife Mark II. K-bar is the name of a related knife manufacturing company. K-bar Knives, formerly Union Cutlery Co., Olean, New York, a subsidiary of Cutco Corporation. Well, I know Cutco Knives, so I guess it's a subsidiary of them. Yeah, it's a combat knife. Like, it's made, I guess that's why they call it like a Rambo knife, because it's like, it's like an army knife. After the United States entry into World War II, we really want to know the history. Traditional K-bar knife and leather sheath of unknown age. So, the knife fighting utility was designed from the outset as a dual-purpose knife. It was both effective combat knife and utility tool, well suited to the type of jungle warfare encountered by the Marines in the Pacific theater. So it's made for like Vietnam. Yeah, everybody's been through a Cutco sales pitch for sure. I know I've been. The dual-purpose design resulted in some initial criticism of the pattern as being less than ideal for knife fighting, but combat experience of returning veterans, as well as reports from the battlefield, dispelled doubts about its combat effectiveness. After the Second World War, the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps continued to use the K-bar fighting utility knife. In addition to military contract knives, the knife was produced for the civilian market, and the pattern enjoyed some popularity as a general-purpose hunting and utility knife. Just trying to see if they have anything. K-bar makes Army and Navy versions along with the USMC versions. They are the same as the Marine version except for different initials at the bottom of the blade. Besides using it as a fighting knife, oh wait, hold on. I'll read all this. Marines today often treat the blades, guards, and pommels with non-reflective black spray paint to reduce light and give them additional protection against saltwater corrosion. According to K-bar, its 1095 Crovan, a moderate carbon and low chromium steel alloy, allows the blade to hold an edge very well. The 1095 Crovan steel used the blades of contemporary K-bars has a harness of 5658 HRC. I have no idea what that means, but we'll just go along with it. While the guard and the pommel are made from sintered 1095 carbon steel. Besides use as a fighting knife, the K-bar is useful as a utility knife for opening cans, digging trenches, and cutting wood, roots, wire, and cable. In 1995, a version was released with a stainless steel blade, a synthetic handle, and a synthetic sheath marketed as the next generation. In 1999, K-bar released the D2 Extreme version of their fighting knife, coming with the same synthetic handle and sheath that was produced with the next generation, but also a blade made from D2 tool steel for extra edge retention and slightly better corrosion resistance than a 1095. No, I don't think that's it. I'm trying to see if there's any. Military myths. The little machetes. No. You can go on kbar.com and look at it. Here's kbar.com. So they got all kinds of different knives, but they said it was a big one. They said it's a very large knife. I've had two. Current one for over 20 years. Oh, wow. They're synonymous to the Marines, but they can be purchased to a lot of retailers. Gotcha. So a lot of people have them. It's like a common knife. Hey, Boyd Mama, thanks for stopping by. Thank you, girl. Thanks for leaving a like. I appreciate it. Yeah, and if you haven't subbed to my channel and liked my channel, please do it before you leave. And hit all so you'll be notified when I go live. I wonder if it was like one of these. Look how it's like serrated right there, but smooth there. This is the D2 Extreme. Wasn't this the one I was just reading about? Probably like one of these. And look, it's got a pretty... So I wonder how it stops from your hand from sliding though, because it has like a thing right there. It would have to have like a big thing right there, like handle to stop your hand from getting cut. They got all kinds of ones in here. This one, woo. So I wonder if they are able to tell, like, by knife wounds, the difference between like this knife and that knife. That one looks. A self-defense cane. That's awesome. Somebody needs to get this self-defense. I just need to look at this. This is cool. Black powder coated, 0.100 thick, 5052 H32 aluminum self-defense cane. You just whack someone over the head with it? I think it's probably like a knife like that. Good night, Beetlemaniac. Thanks for becoming a member again. They would be out of the grooves. Yeah, you're right. Like different grooves. I ain't never seen a self-defense cane. The heck? Self-defense cane. Chopsticks? They sell chopsticks? Let's see. I just want to see the hunting knives. Because we either have just a person who has a regular K-bar knife with a like a hunter, you know. This, maybe? No, it doesn't have a serrated edge. I could see the person maybe, I mean, for people who have them, are you guys like hunters or are you just self-defense chopsticks? Oh man, if anyone tries to come at me with my chopstick, I'm like, what are they called? Nunchucks? I love nunchucks. It's hilarious. I used to love Ninja Turtles and the guy Mikey with the nunchucks. That's what it reminds me of. Self-defense chopsticks. Some of those sushis can be vicious. Right? Not for cooking. Just acting like you're eating food and somebody come over and just cha. Carry a flip knife with me. Nothing like one of those. Gotcha. I mean, I have like a hunting knife in one of my cars, but we do like construction, so, and it's a pretty big hunting knife. Like we do construction and stuff, so it's like useful to have. I mean, I wouldn't carry it around with me like everywhere. I barely know where it is half the time. A World War II Japanese bayonet that was his grandfather's. Ooh. Isn't the bayonets like the things that go on top of the guns and you... This is not your Jinsu knife. Oh, let me see.
I'm about an hour and a half away.
An hour and a half away?
Yeah.
That's pretty close. You're pretty close. Well, you got to be our boots on the ground guy, Ryan. Get all the scoop for us. My dad has them for hunting and fishing. He said they cut the best. Well, if they stop, so I was like kind of hoping that this person would have cut themselves, but now I'm hearing that they're built so that you don't cut yourself in combat. So now I'm like, man, that kind of upsets me because this guy might not even have wounds from, well, still I probably think that he would if Xana did fight him like her dad said. Like she said, he said that she fought for her life and that she had bruises all over and like drag marks from the knife. So, I mean, the guy has to have some cuts on him and there has to be some tracks around like in the house. You know what I mean? Like there's no way this guy went in there and didn't leave any DNA or anything. They will be like, they got to be able to connect him somehow, you know? The only problem is if he's never been in trouble before, he might not be in the system, but there's got to be some kind of DNA or something there. I think, well, so the sheriff said that it seems as though they were sleeping. So I think what happened was he killed the two girls or whatever, and then went in Xana and Ethan's room, and I think maybe he killed Ethan first, which woke up Xana, and then Xana fought, you know? Because if I went in a room, here's my, if I was thinking in the mind of a killer, which I would never think in the mind of a killer, but let's just go there for the sake of explaining how I'm thinking this through, and there's a man and a woman in the room, I'm going to go for the guy first, because if I go for the girl first, that guy's going to go after me. So he probably went for Ethan first, killed him, and then Xana probably freaked out and started fighting. You know what I mean?
Nina brings up a good point. Why did they leave the other two roommates alive?
I think because they had their doors locked. So, and that's what that guy Mark Furman said. He said he interviewed some people, and that's what they said. And I'll tell you why. I used to go up Penn State visit Penn State and see my son's uncle. And they had this like mansion, right? But it was like there's like 20 guys who lived there. It was like 4 floors, they had 1 million bedrooms, but there was like it wasn't exactly like a mansion once you realize how many actually guys lived in the house. And it was a dirty mess. I mean, they didn't clean nothing. There was dishes piled on the sink. It was a typical, there was cake on the walls. It was like, you know, the movie Animal House. That's what this was. Okay. So imagine going to these parties while I was there for 3 days. Probably about 30 people they didn't even know just came in the house and started partying. Like people, if they see a party going on in your house, they will just walk in. You don't even have to know who the hell they are. They just walk in. They'll walk around the campus looking for a party. When they see a party going on, they just walk in. And a lot of the times, if you're going to sleep and you want to be left alone and you don't want a drunk person in your room, you lock your door, because not only will they just walk in your home, random ass people will walk from bedroom to bedroom. You may even wake up with some drunk person you don't even know laying on your floor or sitting at the end of your bed staring at you like a creep. You know what I mean? It's really strange up there. It's like a free-for-all. It's not weird if some random guy just comes in your house and passes out and you don't know who he is. It's like normal. So it sounds like to people like that's strange. They didn't even know. Well, if they were sleeping, all right, so if they were sleeping, which I think it either happened this way. They killed the girls on the 3rd floor and the ones in the basement didn't hear, or vice versa. And if they had their rooms locked, they couldn't get in there. And if they did hear anything, they wouldn't even know, because in a party house, you're going to hear noise and you're just going to think people are partying. Even if it's like a scream or whatever, people be doing some weird stuff at the party. So they probably heard noise and they were probably drunk as well and chalked it off and went to bed. So I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's strange at all. And if they were sleeping when he came in, you're going to get less screaming. You're probably the only person who was yelling was Xana, because the other ones were probably killed, like, you know, hit while they were sleeping. And then even if they did wake up, they were probably struggling to breathe and make noise. You know what I mean? So sorry if I'm saying some like really gross stuff without trigger warning, which I do all the time. I just kind of assume it's the true crime community and everyone can hear that stuff. Sorry. I should have said it first. But like I'm saying is I don't think it would have been that loud, besides maybe Xana. And if the roommates would probably have their doors locked, because that's what I would do to keep drunk people from coming in my room and waking me up. You know how annoying it is when you have drunk friends and you're trying to sleep and they would just be banging on the door, flicking on the lights, spilling shit in your room, coming in like, hey girl, what are you doing? Wake up, you know? When you don't want... Thanks, Cheryl. Sorry. Hold on a second. You know, like, if you don't want to be woken up by a drunk person at 4 o'clock in the morning, you lock your door and go to bed. And I think that's what happened. And I think that's why they were spared. Or they were spared because maybe the guy worked with Maddie and Xana and he was targeting Maddie and Xana, and Kaylee and Ethan were collateral. That's just my take on it. I'm beginning to think the knife incident that was reported is connected. Yeah, I was wondering. I've heard that the guy who did have the knife came forward, but that was just a rumor, so I don't know. But it is weird, and there may be a connection there. I agree with you there. There was like a knife incident reported like 2 weeks ago. Sorry, my skin is so dry and itchy. There was a knife incident that was reported like 2 weeks ago, supposedly, and it is strange. It makes me wonder if it is connected. I'm trying to see if I can find the screenshot where I seen that. Sorry, hold on. I'm looking.
I've also heard that could have been a drug deal gone wrong.
Mm,
But I don't believe that.
yeah. No, the guy, no. I don't think that. It doesn't feel like that. You know what I mean? It feels like somebody who was stalking them or wasn't getting the attention they wanted back from them, or somebody who really got pissed off by them. Something like that. I don't get the. I think a lot of, in the beginning, there was a lot of like drug deal rumors going around, and it's just, I don't think that had any, like,
And
had
it's
any.
going to be harder because after the first 48, it gets harder.
Yeah, Brad, that's a good point too. Like, if the roommates were involved and they killed them, like, how do you cover that up? You know what I mean? Like, living in the house and the cops come in and you're like, they come and wake you up and you're like, oh, I didn't even know. How do you clean off in the shower and get rid of your clothes and all that in that bloody messy house and get away with it? I just can't see. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be too much of a mess and too blatantly obvious for them to just kill their roommates and go lay down and go back to sleep, and the cops not be able to know by finding stuff in the house. Like, I just don't see it. And the cops have said that, you know, they don't think that it has anything to do with the roommates. I don't know if there's bloody shoe prints or not. They haven't said. They haven't really, nobody's really asked, it seems. Has everyone seen the blood pic? Trigger warning, but let me just show this in case everyone hasn't seen this. This had to be coming from Xana's room, because their room was right there. Like, it was so much blood that it literally seeped through the walls and the floors and out the foundation and under the siding. That's crazy.
I think there's a lot of stuff that the cops are holding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? You didn't see that, Pecan? Look at that. That's wild. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I agree. I think it may have been a mess. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, they haven't said, but it was either very perfectly planned or I don't know. I can't believe they don't have a suspect right now. Like, not even a suspect. An average young adult has 1.3 gallons of blood in their body and about 10 pounds of liquid. Yeah, that's crazy. I think it was too, Linda, because in that particular room, there's like a cutout where like a dresser would fit, and then there's another cutout where it looks like a full-size bed would fit in the little nook perfectly. And I feel like maybe her bed was right in that little nook, and I was telling you, I thought this was so odd because they wouldn't mention cause of death for a couple of days. Yeah, it was odd. It was. But I feel like they came to a point where they had to, because people started getting worried about their safety and asking if they were safe and stuff like that. But I still can't believe they don't even have. Like, at first I was like, they definitely have somebody in mind because they said it was a targeted attack. But now the further it keeps going on, I'm like, maybe they don't. Like, maybe they have no idea who the hell this, like, who did this. Not even a clue. Which is just crazy.
The killer could be anywhere, even right now. The killer could be in my city right now.
I mean, I don't think this should have too hard of a time finding him, though. Like, they got to be connected in some way. Like, if they're angry with somebody there, they've got to be connected through work or a neighbor, or, you know, I feel like they'll put this is just one of those, like, go through the phone records and go through the Facebook messages and the emails and start connecting the dots and finding where they were having issues and tie it together. And that stuff takes a while. I mean, you got to get search warrants for all their phones. The judge has to write off on them, which I'm sure he will. they have to, I mean, all of this takes a long time. Phone companies do not want to just up and give you the phone information. They make cops jump through hoops and get not subpoenas, like warrants, search warrants for it. And they'll have to go through all that, all through their Facebook records, that the interview. Probably, I mean, at college, they probably had so many friends. So imagine all the contact, all the people, all the students they're going to have to interview. And now all of these students have left for holiday break, fear for their lives. So it's going to be hard to track every one of these kids down. So it's definitely going to be a process. But I feel like they'll be able to come to some conclusion, because there's got to be like a text. I feel like there's got to be like a text where this guy's mad at me, or this guy's a weird guy. Why is this guy acting this way? Or some kind of hint where they have felt something was wrong, or they had pissed someone off. There's got to be, I just feel like there's got to be a connection there somewhere. There's a house on a hill above them that looks as if I can see into every window of the back of their place. That's a good point. Like, see through the sliding glass doors and stuff. That's a good point. I'm gonna check the neighbors out. I'm just not gonna do it on a live, because I'm not trying to like dox a bunch of random people and make think that they're suspicious when they're not. I'm just gonna look through it myself because I'm nosy, and I like having visuals and looking up the people and seeing what they look like, or seeing, So I'm gonna do that, see if I can find anything. And I'm going to see if I can find anything about their job. I feel like the neighbor and the job is a good place to start. And I'm going to dig into that for sure. But I'm going to end it because I got to go get gas, because I got to be up at like 6:45 in the morning, and I'm going to be pissed if I have to do it in the morning. So I'm going to do that real quick. And I'm going to go to bed because I got to be up early for work. But thank you, everyone, for coming, and we will revisit this soon. I'll be back Sunday. I don't know if there's any new updates. Of course, we'll talk about this or whatever, if there's anything going on.
I'll let you know if I hear anything new.
It's not any better going out at 11:48 at night and filling her up, for sure. Like, no fun in doing that either. Thanks for coming up, Ryan.
No problem.
All right. Good night, everyone. And
Good night.
I'll let you know if I find anything, Ryan. If anyone wants to come in my Discord, let me share my Discord link real quick. It expires in 7 days, so if you want to come in, here's the link. I share. We talk about cases and exchange articles and stuff like that in the Discord. So if you guys want to come in, that's the link. Be safe, take a knife. I have a knife in my car, actually. Well, I think I have the giant hunting knife in my car, actually. So I need to get those self-defense chopsticks. You know what I mean? If you have self-defense chopstick, I don't think an attacker would know what hit them. You know what I mean? Just whip out the chopsticks and be like, wow. They'd probably be so confused and just leave me alone, because like, this girl's chopsticks. I have pepper spray. I carry that around everywhere. Pepper spray is my best friend. And let me tell you how paranoid I get, because where I work, a lot of times I close, and there'll be like 1 or 2 people there when I'm trying to close, and I'll be like putting scissors in my waistband just in case, because I follow true crime, so of course I'm so paranoid, So I'll be like carrying the scissors in my waist, and then pepper spray in my other one until the people leave. I'm so dramatic, I know. After all the nonsense earlier today, I'm allergic to Discord. Well, don't worry. We don't really talk drama in my Discord. It's just cases. So get bear spray. Get yourself some oven cleaner. It's toxic and won't put a hurt on the oven cleaner. Smells. That one, just the smell alone makes me want to get away from people with oven cleaner. Like, did you ever clean your oven with your face? Oh, it's terrible. It's a terrible smell. All right. Good night, everyone. Give my daughter pepper spray. Yeah, definitely. Any protection while they're at college for sure. All right. Good night, guys. Bye. Thanks for coming. And if you're in my Discord, you'll get automatic updates when I'm live too. So make sure you come in there. All right. Good night, everyone. See ya.